Have you ever woke up and thought, just let me get through today? Looked at that person in the mirror and said, I don't even know who that is anymore. You have been so busy surviving that you forgot who you are. You forgot how to dream. You forgot how to do anything more than survive. If that is you, I'm just Janae, and this is Dreams Don't Expire. All that you want is still out there waiting for you. Dare to dream again with me. Can you imagine sitting and watching somebody bully your best friend, your child, a loved one, and you sitting there and doing nothing at all, just watching it happen? You don't stop it, you just sit there quietly. We couldn't do it, could we? We would do anything to protect that loved one. But we are doing it every single day. We are watching a bully and we're sitting there quietly, not saying a word. You know, have you ever had that little voice that sits and tells you, you are not enough? You are not worthy. You can't do that. That voice that makes you doubt who you are, that makes you question what you're capable of. Well, that's your bully. And you sit there and you don't say a word. You let that voice be loud. You let that voice be heard above everything else. And you don't say stop. And you don't do anything to drown out that voice. And pretty soon, not only is it the loudest voice you hear, but you believe its lies. You believe the lies it's telling you about what you're capable of doing, about what you deserve, right? And then, you see that dream you want, that Wagyu beef, right? You want that Wagyu steak. And you've been saving and working, and you are so close to getting it. And then here comes this bully. And it starts telling you why you aren't going to get that Wagyu steak. Why it's going to knock you down. It's going to take your lunch money, and you're not going to get that steak. And you're going to get up, and you're going to say, I wasn't ready for it yet anyway. You know what? I was really going above what I should have, what I deserve. You know what? Maybe that wasn't even what I want after all. Maybe I really don't even like steak. Sound familiar at all? Can you see how accustomed we have become to that voice? That voice that is telling us why we will never get where we want to be. That bully that is sitting there in the shadows. But taking control of every one of our dreams, every one of our beliefs, and is pushing us to the ground, hoping we'll stay there. Why? Why are we allowing that? Why are we thinking it's okay? Why aren't we standing up to that bully? Why have we conditioned ourselves to think that's all we deserve? Well, here's the thing. You can stop that bully. You really can. But it's going to take work because his voice didn't get loud overnight. His voice didn't become the one you listen to overnight. Him telling you that you don't deserve that dream didn't just happen today. It's been happening probably most of our lives. I think the only time we didn't have doubt was when we were little. And so we've got so used to hearing it that we aren't even really understanding that he's still talking to us. But not only is he talking to us, he is controlling us because he lives in our subconscious, in our thoughts, right? And our subconscious rules over 90% of what we do. of our actions, of our reactions, of our thoughts. Everything is ruled by our subconscious. And our subconscious is ruled by that damn bully. Isn't it time to dethrone him? Isn't it time to say, nope, not today? Whew. You know, we get to decide what our life looks like. We get to decide who we're listening to. Let's make it something positive. Let's make it somebody who isn't a bully, right? Let's make it somebody who is going to say, that dream, you have it because you're meant for it. Because I do believe that. You don't have a dream if it's not meant to be something you can accomplish. And the thing that can stop you from accomplishing it is you, is that bully, right? So let's shut him up. Let's stop him from being the voice we listen to the loudest. Now, probably not going to go all the way away because we have moments of doubt, right? But we can, the minute it starts, say, stop. Stop. We're not going there. You're wrong, right? We've never done that. We've never said you're wrong. We've never told it to stop. We just have listened and went, oh man, you're right. So how are we going to stop it? Well, first off, you can't have something that loud in your brain and change it without having something loud that's the opposite, right? So you get all this negativity telling you what you can or cannot do. You need to bring in over here this positive thoughts, these positive actions that are going to drown out these negative, right? So be very intentional with your thoughts, not your words. I mean, you need to be intentional with your words. Absolutely. But it's just as important or more important that you are positive with your thoughts. Because I can say, oh, yes, I am awesome. But here's my brain saying, but are you? Are you really? I mean, come on. You kind of blew that, right? So we're just going to go further. That, woo, for 2 seconds, or that over there going, you remember? Just like last time, it didn't work out so well. Are you really going to put yourself out there like that? Okay. That past influence is going to win if I am not bombarding it with the positive, with the why I can, with the I believes in myself, right? So we got to start flooding our brain with the positive. Start your morning with a gratitude journal. Now, these are all just suggestions. Do what works for you, right? But here's the thing about a gratitude journal. If you're going to do it, do 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. But they can't be the same thing that you've already written. Because then it makes you search. It makes you look for things that you love, for joyful moments, for to see things in a positive light, right? So you write something new that you never wrote, that you are grateful for. Because here's the thing. You can't have doubt and gratitude at the same time. You can't have anger and gratitude at the same time. So gratitude's going to change your emotional state. And we are emotional people, so most things are ran off our emotions. So we need our emotional state to be great. Okay. I am going to start my morning. I'm going to be very intentional with how I start my morning as well. But I'm going to start my morning with a book or a podcast. Something that is going to set my energy and my thoughts in the right direction. So I love podcasts. I have Audible books that I listen to. I'll put little headsets in and blow dry my hair, put on my makeup. I'm listening to it as I'm getting ready, as I clean my house, as I drive down the road. Very seldom will you hear music in my car. It's usually Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Jamie Kern Lima, Brandon Burchard, Jocko Willink, there are tons. And while I have my favorites, I still kind of pull in other people. I just got through listening to Les Brown, so I pull in random people. And it's so funny because every time I do that, what I listen to that morning somehow ends up coming into play later that day. So I always hear exactly what I needed to. Just do that while you're already doing something else, because then you can't say, I don't have time, right? Because that saying we don't have time is one of our biggest procrastinators, but it's also what's stopping us from our dreams. So we are going to do it while we're already doing something else. Those earbuds are fantastic, right? So the other thing that is really good is meditation. I'm not great at it because the whole point of meditation is stopping your thoughts, right? And just being able to be in the moment. It's very hard to stop your thoughts. So I haven't got good at it. I find a podcast and I listen to it and whatnot. And pretty soon I find my mind wandering, but now I have bigger lengths of time before my mind wanders, whatnot. But the point of meditation is I'm not taking my energy, my emotion, and my struggles from yesterday to today. I'm leaving it all behind because I stopped that thought process. I stopped where my brain was going with it, and I'm not bringing it now into today. So if I might have yesterday's problems weighing me down already before I get into today, how much better is today going to be? I'm not bringing the stress. I'm not bringing the emotion of yesterday. I'm starting fresh today. We all need that, right? So meditation's great. I'm just not great at it, but that's okay. I get better every time, right? We don't have to be perfect. We just have to start. And then, I've said this time and time again, and I will repeat it time and time again. High five. High five yourself in the mirror. The power of the high five is so amazing. When you high five somebody, you're saying, great job. Fantastic. I am so proud of you. Woohoo, I'm celebrating who you are. And when you get a high five, you smile. It's not a thought. You just automatically, intentionally smile. Because even the energy of a high five is this light, happy, celebratory energy, right? So you high five yourself in the mirror. And you're already telling yourself, great job. You're already starting with that positive thought without saying a word, right? We're already starting that positive before our bully has even woken up. That's huge. And easiest way to start a new habit is habit stack. So right after brushing your teeth, you're already in front of the mirror, you high five yourself, right? I get in the car, I pull down my visor. I always do. I don't know why. I'm short. The visor doesn't help a whole lot, but I always pull down my visor. I look in the mirror, I high five myself. Now, I at this point am like at my first stop sign and I'm high fiving myself and I'm just laughing because if anybody sees me, I look batshit crazy, right? But it makes a difference. So start high fiving yourself. If you have not read Mel Robbins' High Five Habits, go read it. It's phenomenal. It tells you why high fives make a difference. And so here's the deal. The high five habit not only helped me stop that bully over here, it helped keep my confidence or build my confidence, right? Because I built my confidence. It was way up here. And then I did nothing. And slowly it started coming back down. So with the high fives, I am keeping it up here. So the high five is a game changer. That's why I bring it up a lot, because it made a difference in my life, and I believe it can yours. So high five yourself. It's silly, but it works. So make sure out of everything you are adding this to it. That high five is so important. And I want you to remember to give yourself grace. Because some days the bully's going to win. Sometimes it's just for a few minutes of the day. Sometimes it's for the whole day. And that's okay. Not what you want, but that's okay, because if he's winning for a day, you're ahead of the game, because he was winning every day. Now he's just winning for a day or for a moment, right? And so as soon as you realize, because here's the thing, We're changing something big. And it's not that you're not going to stop him when you realize what he's doing. It's that you are going to be so used to it that you won't realize it for a minute. You won't even realize what is the thought that you want to stop, because you're so used to hearing it. You're so used to it being the norm that you're going to let it go. And it's not going to be until you are thinking, going, why is today so hard? Or why is this whatever? That you go, oh my gosh, I have not stopped my bully today. And you're going to stop it because now you are more aware. So give yourself grace, because this is a journey, right? And there's going to be some bumps along the way. And he's going to jump out at you along the way. But the difference is you can start spotting that bully and saying, you don't have a voice here. Not today, bully. Not today. When you hear that bully, I want you to think of them saying those words to your child, to your loved one, to your best friend, and get that angry. Get that mad. You wouldn't allow it to beat them up. Don't allow it to beat you up. Today's the day that you stand up to your bully. Today's the day you say, no more. Get out there. Shut that bully down and change those thoughts into something that you deserve, because you deserve that Wagyu steak. You deserve that wild dream. You wouldn't have it if you didn't. Do not let yourself and that bully stop you. Hey, thank you for having watched that episode of Dreams Don't Expire. I'm just Janae, reminding you, this is your time to rise. Your time to believe in who you are, to become who you are meant to be. So get up, go after those dreams, because guess what? You deserve them.